All right. Welcome back, everyone. This will be the class for English 1101 for the date of August 24th and August 25th, depending on what day your class is. Last time, I went ahead and assigned Essay 1, which is personal experience. I talked in detail in the last video about what that is and what you all should be doing. Um, And I am going to go over a little bit on what D2L should look like for you all and how you can use it a little bit more effectively, because I have been getting some phone calls and emails, text messages, where some folks are having some issues finding specific items on D2L, and that's not good. I want you guys to be able to access everything simply and quickly and easily as possible. So I'll be going over that in a minute, but more specifically, I'm going to focus on the first essay. Again, this is personal experience. You've got the assignment sheet. You can see it right down here. I'm going to go over that specifically while it's up on the screen. The MLA requirements, all of that, I'm going to go over again. Simply because this is very important. How you format what you write is important. You have to have the proper format. You have to have the proper topic, the top genre, the type of essay. If this essay is personal experience and you turn in some kind of weird science fiction fantasy thing about you being the last starfighter, good movie by the way, or something like that, it's might be great. I'd love to read it honestly, but it's just not. It doesn't fit the assignment. So I want to make sure everybody's on the same proverbial page, or whatever, however you want to phrase it, but I want to make sure we're all on the same page. This is a little bit different because we're doing this at a distance. We're doing this at different times, obviously in different places. So there naturally is going to be more room for misunderstandings and errors. So if I sound like I'm repeating myself, guess what? It's because I am. I am repeating myself. I want to make sure as many of you are as possible are on the same page and know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Now, of course, you can call me if you have specific questions that I don't go over. I think I've made it abundantly clear that my phone is on, it's open. Again, just use discretion. Don't call me in the middle of the night or anything like that, and I'll talk to you for as long as I have and as long as it takes to get you squared away on whatever the issues may be. Now here, if you look, I have several things on here. Now I've got this under student view, so this should be what it looks like from your end. It looks a little bit different for me, but not too much. But this isn't. I have it set up, as you can see. I've got it as student view. So, and I'm just using section 102. It doesn't matter. Your section, if you're in L48 or 50, B50, it's going to look exactly the same except for this. So same thing. Your due dates are going to be one day apart. That's it, because one's Tuesday, Thursday, one's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So due dates will be a day apart. That's about it. So this will work for regardless. In one of the earlier videos, I went over in real time in the video how to set up all the MLA format. Well, if you don't want to have to go back and watch the video and you just want a quick thing, I've got this right here. And this is also under content. I'll double post certain things, because if you don't find it in one spot where it is, I want you to be able to find it. You're going to have a better chance of finding what you need if it's in two places than if it's only in one place. So that's why I do this. But here I hot link everything that you need to link to. Just do that. You'll download it, there you go. This is step by step, explained in written form, how to format your essay in the most current, which is the 8th edition MLA handbook. I've also got at the end how to do internal citations as well as how to do a works cited page. This is what it should actually look like. This is the correct font, the correct size, margins are all correct. This is a facsimile of what it should look like. As I explained last time, don't worry about the works cited or anything right now. You're not using outside sources. You're writing personal experience. This is you are the source. You don't need anybody else. This is you telling a story. So that's right there for you if you just need a quick kind of go-to guide. You can download it if you want. It doesn't matter. Now, under content is where I have the syllabus and some other things. Some people were saying they couldn't find the syllabus. Well, if you go to content, overview, if you click on overview, there you go. There's the syllabus right there in all of its glory. Critical dates, all that, pay attention to those. They are important. So you've got that all right there. Okay, so if we go back to content, I also put the MLA guide. Again, I've got stuff in more than one place for you. So, but if it's something simple like this, I'll put it right in announcements so you can see it right up. The assignment sheets, I put them under assignments, and I also put them under the main page under announcements. If you see something under assignments and in announcements and it's the same thing, you just do it once. You don't have to do it twice. I'm just making it easier for you. Now, part of the reason why it's on assignments as well as announcements because you can actually turn your assignment in through there, or you can email it to me. Either way is fine. I will get it the same way, either way. So this is the actual assignment sheet. Okay, you can read through this on your own. In the last video, I went over the specifics of a thesis statement. Remember, I used that 5-paragraph format as an example. That does not mean that you can only do 5 paragraphs. I actually did have someone text message me and say they have a story that's they want to tell, a personal experience story that they think cannot be confined to 5 paragraphs and 3 to 5 pages. They asked if they could go beyond the 5 pages. Yes, you can. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. The 3 pages is an absolute basement minimum. You need at least 3 full pages. But I say 3 to 5 to make it more manageable, because if I don't give some parameters, a minimum, and kind of this is where you can stop. If I don't do that, some people tend to kind of freak out and go, well, is this too long? Am I doing this wrong? So the 3 to 5, 3 is the absolute minimum. That is a absolute requirement. If you want to go beyond 5 pages, by all means. If it takes you more than 5 pages to tell your story and all of its detail and all the great, awesome stuff, go for it. I won't penalize you for that. But I will also give you a bit of a caveat with that. I always try to use analogies that I think a lot of people can relate to. So think of your essay as your personal experience as kind of like a movie. Okay, so the 3 to 5 pages that's your ballpark, 3 being the absolute minimum. However, in the past, I've had it's rare, it's very rare, but I've had some people who assumed that because I said you could go as long as you want, that if they give me 8 or 9 pages, that they're just gonna, man, I'm gonna knock his socks off. I'm gonna give him 9 pages, and there's no, that's a guaranteed A because I wrote so much. Well, think about it like a movie, okay? An hour and a half movie can be awesome. It can cover everything. You got the beginning, you got the middle, the end, the action, the rising, the falling, the character development. You got everything. You got the whole 9 yards. And it's just an awesome movie. Then there can be a 4-hour movie that has almost none of those to any extent that are even worth your time. We've all been in that situation where you watch a movie, or at least I've done this plenty of times. I'll start watching a movie and it will be so terrible. And not so bad it's good. I love those. So you guys know I love so bad it's good. No, movies that are just so terrible that I will literally keep watching it to the finish to see if it can get worse. Not if it can get better, to see if it can actually get worse, because at that point I'm thinking that's a pretty good accomplishment. I didn't think they could make it any worse. But don't do that with your essays. If you write 9 pages of garbage and somebody else next to you, or well, not right now, but if you write 9 pages of garbage and another student writes 3 pages and 4 sentences of magic, they're going to get an A, you aren't. So don't take that route that more means better. But if your story does take that extra few pages, go for it. Don't feel like, oh, is this getting too long? If it's valuable content and it's necessary, keep going. Think just like those movies. I mean, there are some movies that are incredibly long that are amazing, and there's some that are not. So just keep that in mind. Now, everything's all the minimums, 3 body paragraphs. That's the 5 paragraph format. Again, that's not a requirement. That's just to give you something to work with, a template, if you will, kind of a rubric. So I've got all your specific due dates here. Make sure you check your section. This is for section 102. Okay, so if you're not in this section, make sure you check your due date. Again, you can put those directly through D2L under the assignment submission, or you can just email it to me as an attachment. But it does have to be in MLA format, and it does have to be in a docx format so that you can get my feedback on it. Because remember, this is just a first draft. You will have the opportunity to go in and revise, and I'll explain it again. We learn by repetition. If you don't do very well on the rough draft, let's say you get I'll go extreme here. Let's say you get a D. That's not good. You don't want a D. I've already made it very clear that if you get a D in this course, you cannot take 1102. It's not, D is other than your GPA, D is the same as an F for the most part, other than the impact it has on your GPA. So let's say you get a D or an incomplete. If you don't meet the minimum requirements, you'll get an I for a grade, which means incomplete. So if you get a D or an incomplete on the rough draft and you revise it and it becomes an A, it's an A. I don't average the two. And I want to expand a little bit. If you do get a essay back that says incomplete, now you're going to have a lot of comments. Don't worry. You guys will have plenty of comments and suggestions. But what an incomplete means on your essays is that you did not meet the requirements. So if you give me two and a half pages, you automatically, no matter how good those 2.5 pages are, you get an incomplete. And if you do not revise it and bring it up to the minimum requirements, the highest grade that you can get on an incomplete is a D. And that means you didn't meet the minimum requirements, but what you gave me was pretty good. If you didn't meet the minimum requirements and what you gave me was not very good, you're just going to get an F on that paper. So make sure you meet the minimum requirements. Now in the draft, you got some leeway because again, if you have an incomplete, but then in the final draft is an A, then that's an A essay. You turned something that was just not complete into something that was an A. So I want to make sure everybody's crystal clear on how that works. Again, I put all the links here for you to the YouTube stuff. And another thing that I also want to mention is, and I have no way of tracking who this is, even if it's anybody from any of these classes, but I have noticed that I do have a Facebook page that's Georgia Gwinnett College Mr. B that I used quite a while ago. I haven't updated it. I haven't checked it. I don't know. Everything in there is way outdated. So if you are going to Georgia Gwinnett College Mr. B, think to try to get ahead or some, see what the rest of the semester, please don't. And I'm not saying that you're cheating by doing that, because that's not cheating to begin. First of all, that wouldn't be cheating. That'd just be you trying to get ahead, which is perfectly fine. But the information and the assignments on there do not match up with what we're doing this semester. So if you're trying to get ahead and get everything done so you can just chill and get the whole semester done, you're setting yourself up for failure, because it's not going to match up with what we're doing this semester. Please don't do that. If you're relying on that, use D2L for your course and your section. Don't use anything else, because it's gonna make things really difficult for you. And what's even worse is it's unnecessarily difficult. Use what you see right here. Okay, and if you have any questions or you don't understand, obviously call or text me or email me. So this is basically what I wanted to make clear and reiterate, is how we're going to move along. So with the rough drafts, you guys just do your best. Make it as, try to put your best effort forward, but it is called a rough draft for a reason. The most important thing is to get those ideas out, get them on paper, get some feedback. I'm going to give you feedback. We have a writing center at GGC that will help you out. I've got all the links in the syllabus, all the information, phone number, emails, all of that is in the syllabus. Use the AEC. Those tutors are there, and I actually worked somewhere else with one of the tutors there, and I know that these people know how to do their jobs, and I know that they're professionals. Use these benefits you've already paid for. Use them. They will help you. But this is a rough draft. I'd rather you give me something than nothing. If you give me nothing and you don't give me something until the final draft, what you give me the day the final draft is due is what you get. There's no revisions on that. That's a final grade. So please get those into me and get those in on time. And for today, that's just about it. Don't forget, email me, call me, text, whatever, if you need more clarifications, and I'll just see you guys next time.